Hey guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share my Murgh Musallam or the whole chicken recipe with you. I've got all of my ingredients right in front of me. Let's take a look. Okay, so I am going to bake these two chickens. I've already got these cleaned, and if you can see right here, I've got they're skinless, and I have some cuts on the chicken. So I did these cuts, so all the spices that I'm going to put, it's going to go nicely into these cuts. I've removed all the extra fat from the chicken, and it's really nice and clean and ready to be marinated. So this is the actual chicken. Now let's take a look what goes on top of these chickens to get them marinated. Okay, so the first thing I've got is I have sliced onions, some plain yogurt. I've got homemade garam masala, and I will link the recipe for this into the description box. Salt, cumin seeds, homemade curry powder. Again, I will link the video for this one too. Homemade green chutney. I will link the video for this one as well. Coriander powder, cayenne pepper, paprika, tandoori masala, minced garlic, and some butter. So the step number one, what you need is I am going to take the onions, and I'm going to add them with butter and minced garlic and put them in this pan and saute the onions, butter, and garlic on medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then once I'm done sauteing the onions, I will put this in my hand mixer and blend this together with the rest of the spices and make a nice mix that can go on the chicken. And then I'll bake the chicken, but I'll show you step by step. So first thing, let's add this onion in the pan, and the onions, minced garlic, and cumin seeds. And I'm gonna take this over to the stove, and add the butter, of course. And I mean, if you don't like, who doesn't like butter, right? But if you don't want to add butter, then you can use olive oil, but butter will give you a nice taste, in my opinion. So this is going to go on the stove, and I'm going to saute this about 3 minutes before putting it in my hand mixer. So let's go over to the stove. All right, so the onions, the garlic, and the cumin seeds are nicely sauteed in butter. The mix is ready, so let me turn the stove off and show you how it looks, and it smells absolutely amazing. So look at this. So this is the sauteed onions, garlic with cumin seeds and butter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add this into my hand mixer jar and quickly give it a blend. Nice blend and make a paste, and then add rest of the ingredients in the jar as well, so everything gets nicely mixed. Let's do that first. I've done it actually without sauteed onions. This dish, I've tried that, but I think when you saute the onions with butter and garlic, this tastes way better than the just the regular onions. There we go. Alrighty, this is all done. Okay, I'm gonna give this a quick spin before adding rest of the ingredients and then mixing them nicely together, and I'll show you how the paste looks before putting it on the chicken. Okay, so that's the onion, right? Now I'm gonna add a little bit yogurt to this mix as well. Mix it around. There you go. The whole thing is I want the mixture to have all the spices nicely mixed in. There we go. Okay, let me add everything else now. So the curry powder, green chutney. There we go. Oh my god, this smells so good. I know it's going to taste absolutely amazing when it's baked. Okay, so there you have the paste ready. All the spices that I had, I mixed them together. And of course, butter is smelling awesome in this whole recipe. I can smell, and I've tasted the spice as well. It's perfect. So what's gonna happen is now this paste, I'm gonna use my hand. It's gonna get a bit messy, but that's the only way I'm able to get the spices nicely on top of the chicken. And I wanna make sure all the cuts that I've made, the spices actually gets in there nicely. So what I am going to do is cover as much as I can, right? Try to get all those cuts, the grooves, everything else. There you go. Okay, this is getting done pretty nice. Okay, all right, let me flip the chicken around, and then I'll use my hand to make sure that everything is nicely covered. There we go. There we go. Oh wow. Okay. So there you go. Chicken is nicely coated with the spices. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cover this up and let it sit and marinate for at least 40 minutes before putting it in the oven. And then I'll show you, I wrap it up nicely with tin foil, put it in the baking tray and cover it up, bake it at 350 for at least 40 minutes. And then of course, depends on how moist or how tender you want the chicken. You could leave it for a bit longer, or I think it's perfect after 40 minutes, and then you keep basting it for a little bit to make sure the butter and the spice is nicely soaked in. So this is gonna stay out for about 40 minutes and marinate. All right, so time to wrap these up and put them in the oven. So I have enough tin foil around here to make sure that chicken is nicely covered. There we go. See that? And I'm gonna bake this at 350 for about 40 minutes, and then double check to see if the chicken is fully ready. And I'm gonna uncover it and cook it on convect to roast for another few minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'll keep basting the chicken as well. Okay, so this is going in the oven, and once this is ready, then I'll take it out and show you how it looks. All right, folks, Murgh Musallam is ready. So I'm just gonna open this pot up and show you how it looks. Alrighty, there you have it. See that? It's nice and tender. All the spices are nicely absorbed. What I'm gonna do is I am going to cut this in front of you and show you how moist is the chicken actually from inside. Look at that. See that? So nice and juicy. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. Please do let me know how it turns out for you. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, take care and stay safe.